What if I told you that ancient Rome had a completely different understanding of male relationships than what you might expect? Prepare to have your mind blown by the fascinating realities of gay men in Roman times. First, Romans didn't think about sexuality the way we do today. They didn't have words for gay or straight. Instead, they focused on who was the active versus passive partner. Being the active partner, regardless of your partner's gender, was considered masculine and acceptable. This meant that powerful Roman men could have relationships with other men without any social stigma, as long as they maintained the dominant role. Here's something that'll shock you. Emperor Hadrian, one of Rome's most celebrated rulers, was openly in love with a young Greek man named Antinous. When Antinous died mysteriously in the Nile River, Hadrian was so devastated that he founded an entire city in his honor and declared him a god. Imagine a world leader today doing something similar for their same-sex partner. But it gets even more interesting. Roman soldiers often formed intense romantic bonds with each other. These relationships were actually encouraged because commanders believed that men would fight harder to protect their lovers. The famous Sacred Band of Thebes, which Romans greatly respected, was entirely composed of male couples who were nearly unbeatable in battle. Roman marriage laws present another mind-bending fact. While legal marriage was only between men and women, there are records of Roman emperors actually marrying other men in ceremonial weddings. Emperor Nero married 2 different men in elaborate public ceremonies, complete with wedding veils and dowries. The Roman bathhouses were centers of social and romantic life for men. These weren't just places to get clean. They were sophisticated social clubs where men of all classes mingled, formed friendships, and yes, romantic relationships. The architecture itself was designed to facilitate these interactions, with elaborate gardens and private rooms. Perhaps most surprisingly, many of Rome's greatest poets wrote openly about their love for other men. Catullus penned passionate verses about his relationships with men, and these poems were celebrated, not hidden. Roman literature is filled with references to male love that were considered high art. The decline of these attitudes came with the rise of Christianity in the later Roman Empire. What had been normal and accepted for centuries suddenly became forbidden. This shift fundamentally changed Western attitudes towards same-sex relationships for over 1,000 years. These facts reveal that ancient Rome was far more complex and accepting than many people realize, showing us that attitudes toward sexuality have varied dramatically throughout history.